what is the business case? How do you want to adopt those technologies in your daily work, what you have?
Welcome to HubHype. This is the first episode of a podcast talking about marketing, sales, and HubSpot. This is for all HubSpot admins and users as well. It's been a while since we talked about doing this, right?
That's true, Lisa.
For a month or a month and a half, and then we decided, you know what, just let's get started and doing something with this and talking about what we love and do every day. And I think this will most likely help others as well. So maybe we should start by introducing ourselves a little. What do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit. So my name is Erwin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Thalox. So we are dealing with our HubSpot clients. And yeah, the idea really came when I sit together with Lisa talking about a challenge, what a customer had. And then we have born the idea to just do a podcast about that because what we are doing to create a solution is quite good. So all good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are talking so much about problems that our customers have, and every time something new comes up on HubSpot, we are as well showing that to our customers and trying it out for ourselves. So why not talk about it, and creating content while doing it. So as for me, I'm Lisa. I work as a digital marketing lead at Thalox. I'm as well a HubSpot consultant, and Irving happens to be my boss. So this will be fun.
Which is not so bad, huh?
So far, so good. All right. So the first topic I want to bring today is Web Summit. So for those who don't know, Web Summit, we were there last week. And Web Summit, I think, must be one of the biggest conferences in Europe, if not the biggest one. I'm not sure.
I would say the biggest one, huh? There is GTEx as well, but currently they are just in Dubai, I think. But in Europe, I think it's one of, oh, well, yeah, I would say in Europe, at least it's the biggest show
Yeah.
with 70,000 people attending. So that's great, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been there for the last 4 years, as I said. And I mean, it's always great to come back to the Web Summit. I think the expectations that you should have. I mean, I absolutely recommend you to visit. I think that if you're going there with your company, you should think about, I mean, your goals and everything that you want to do there. But honestly, when it comes to creating leads and the business potential, and if you're expecting to have like tons of leads coming out of that conference and then tons of customers afterwards, I think you should hold your horses, because it's not really like that. I think it's great to build connections, right?
Absolutely.
Partnerships. I think honestly everything related to innovation, business, and tech, all that together, and everything that will happen in the near future, you can find it there. So that's really, really cool. In terms of business potential, I don't know how you see it, Irving, but
Yeah, I agree. So business potential. So it's as you already mentioned, it's the fourth time we were there. So if you ask me, did we sign up for a new client, so to say, the answer is clearly no. But it's really the environment. So first of all, it's about the team because we are doing a lot of team building around that, which is always good, I think. The second thing is really to talk to a lot of startup founders, CEOs as well. So the conversations you have around that, and also the challenges they are facing. It's super interesting to talk and maybe give them some solutions on hand, etc., about the expectations, and also from time to time, also the keynotes and the trends you are getting are quite good. So therefore, we made the decision to go there 4 times in a row, which in general for us was pretty good.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, I can remember one of the talks I was in, and there was this company called Leaped Up AI. And this is one example of the amazing things that you see there. This is something that I mean, they didn't give me any money to promote them or anything, right? But I think it's still in beta or something. Honestly, that was pretty incredible. I think they put on some video from Will Smith talking in English, and then they did the same version in Spanish and as well in Chinese. And honestly, you cannot tell that this guy was, this video was made with AI. And also another use case, especially for content creators listening, there was one thing that this guy did, like had a script and did a video, and then he had like three or more, I think 3 or 4 scripts that he wanted to try out. So he made the same video, but talking, and the message was completely different, and talking a completely different script. I mean, you can really, if you didn't know, you could not tell that was AI generated. So, and that's a bit scary, honestly, but I mean, that was really, really well made.
For me, the question of AI, and there are tons of companies out there promoting AI for content, AI for automated journey building, AI for you name it, right? So the question for me is, there are top ideas out there, and you know me, I love innovation. So we are innovative as well. But what I always think about, what is the business case? How do you want to adopt those technologies in your daily work, what you have? So we are super focused on marketing, sales, service. So for me, the question is, how can I help you to really implement that in the company? And what we saw, or what I hear when I talk to those people at the stand, is really their biggest challenge is how to get this into companies. So because there is no AI strategy, there for sure everyone is using somehow ChatGPT, but the wording, the prompting, it's a science for itself, I would say. But really, what I can recommend those people is really they have to come up with an AI strategy, because with an AI strategy, I think you will lose adopting those new brilliant technologies. And yeah, when talking to other CEOs, also from bigger customers, because I don't know if our audience knows, so you're starting as an alpha, then you are better, then you are growth. And growth really means you have a solid customer base, maybe you have some investors. And when you're talking to those guys, that's really the challenge. So how to adopt this stuff to the business on a daily basis? I think this is where most of the companies struggling. And when I mean strategy, so strategy is not a PowerPoint presentation of 20, 30 slides. So my recommendation always would be pick a use case, a business case, and then search the market a little bit, and then you will for sure find an AI solution which can fit. So for instance, for sales conversion, right? So there are tons of tools out there. There's a lot of stuff in HubSpot itself, but always look into that. So strategy, again, doesn't mean tons of PowerPoint presentations, etc. Just take one use case and then try it out. And if you fail, no worries. You did not invest tons of money, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that people are so overwhelmed with so many AI tools out there, they feel a little bit lost, and they cannot, I mean, it's hard for the company or for the solution to stand out. And it's also hard for the target audience to identify which ones are better and which ones are actually helping them become better in their work.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. All right. So another thing. Oh, actually, I think you had another topic, Irving, as well.
Yeah,
About
we can talk about that one later. So I saw a tool which was quite nice, which is called TradeSpotter,
okay.
because it gives you some information about the insides of a person. So if he or she is extroverted, and you can adopt this to your HubSpot system. So we talked about that already in a blog post of ours, because we are fans of TradeSpotter. But again, this podcast is not for selling, it's just to have a conversation. And this is what I had a deeper look into that during the Web Summit. So I had the chance to talk to the managing director of TradeSpotter. And this was just amazing, because when people were coming by, what he did is, so what's your name? He typed in the name, and immediately you can see the insight of this person. So one insight was about the LinkedIn profile, about the jobs. So that's simple, because this is something you can always do on LinkedIn when you have a user there. But what you see is and this was really mind blowing for me and also for the visitors at the stand, is that they you get insights how you should do a conversation with this person. And the reaction of this person was, "Oh, that fits quite good with my expectation in a sales call." Yeah, the whole world is about sales, because whenever you offer services or products or whatever, you have to do sales. And was really amazing for me, seeing some people's just walking by the stand, typing in their profile, and then see they're extroverted, they're early adopters, or whatever. And the idea is really to somehow bring this in HubSpot. So they're integrating with HubSpot, but how can you, and that's exactly what I said before. How do you adopt this to your daily work? So how can you integrate that into your HubSpot? So do you run better campaigns to make your message more relevant or something like that? So that's really the question. And I also asked the managing director, so his name is Tommy. So where do you see the biggest challenge? And he exactly said, yeah, unfortunately, there is no plan. So when testing that, so 30 days, those 30 days are over very quickly. So therefore, my recommendation is always prepare your pilot, prepare the stuff you want to test with a clear goal, and then put some KPIs into that, and then you see if you are successful or not. So that was really amazing, and just one out of 1,000 exhibitors on the Web Summit.
Yeah, I think, as you said, making every message count and making every message relevant. I think that, and as well as part of the AI strategy, when you're thinking about companies, they are all thinking about how to reach out and how to approach better their target audience. And that counts for marketing, and that also counts for sales. So all kind of tools that you can find that can help you leverage data into becoming more relevant in your message and in your approach. I think that's probably the one that in 2025 all teams should be focusing on. Absolutely. That was great.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I think that in terms of HubSpot, because we are HubSpot fans, we are, so Thalox is a HubSpot partner for those who don't know, but we are, as well HubSpot fans. We use HubSpot every day. And I would like to bring to the podcast as well, every time or in every episode, some of the main, or at least not particularly the main ones, because honestly, HubSpot is launching every day tons of updates, so it's really hard to keep up. But at least some updates that caught my eye. And one of them is for all social media managers out there. HubSpot is really good in social management, and they recently launched an update which is really, really interesting. I don't know if you noticed. I think it's I'm not sure if it's an open beta or if you have to sign up for it, but it's called Monitor. So in the social management part, I think it's under marketing. You have to have Marketing Pro if you're familiar with HubSpot. There's a tab called Monitor, and that actually means that HubSpot is optimizing so much that part that if you're using, or if you were using until this point, any other social media tool like Hootsuite and so many others out there, honestly, you don't need it anymore, really, because besides the fact that you can schedule your posts and manage your calendar all in HubSpot, this Monitor tab allows you now to see all the comments that you get in your posts and reply directly from HubSpot to LinkedIn or Facebook on Instagram. So that's really, really cool. And you have like a really centralized view of all the comments, and you can immediately, instead of going to LinkedIn and just, especially if you're running a company account, and you get a lot of comments on your posts, it's much, much quicker and efficient to do that from HubSpot. And besides that as well, they are very close to the social listening that you usually have in social media tools, because you can as well add keywords of topics or industry or your target audience and follow those keywords. So you are aware of conversations and discussions going on LinkedIn, as well as mentions as well. So you can, if someone mentions your company, you can follow that. So I think that's pretty cool, right?
Really cool, yeah. I love it. I saw it just the other day when we had our internal meeting. And I was blown away because I think that today you have to, in the marketing section, you have to manage so many tools. And whenever you have just one tool and doing that stuff, that's much better than logging into here, logging into there, logging into there. And I assume there's also a big reporting engine behind it so that you can see what is working good, what is working bad, etc. So that's really a cool thing what I just saw the other day. So yeah, and as you mentioned, HubSpot is bringing out every day new functionalities. Another one what I really like, because I did a training last week to a customer, and what they brought out, I think it was during Inbound, which was in September. Yes, it was around my birthday. Yeah. And it's the Copilot, and you can ask the Copilot, tell me a little bit about this customer, or tell me a little bit about the person I'm talking to, and it's natively integrated. So if you have HubSpot, you can use Copilot, which is kind of an internal ChatGPT, I would say, in HubSpot. So technically, everyone who is technical now would kill me, but for me, it's really about using the tool, right? So type in what activities did you do with this customer, because if you have a longer sales cycle, let's say 3 or 6 months for your product or service or whatever you are selling, then it is super helpful to ask Copilot, which activities should I do with this customer or prospect, or give me a quick intro into this customer. And what you can also do is you can create icebreaker emails in there. So you just put in the prompt and say, write me an icebreaker email to Lisa and consider all the activities I did with her. And then what the system is getting out then is brilliant, I would say. And it's not so, how can I say that? So when you put in something in ChatGPT, it's always like overwhelming stuff, right? Exciting, etc., etc. But what you can do also, and I just saw that recently, is you can define your company tone, how you want to write emails and what should be the answer. And only with this toolkit, you don't need ChatGPT anymore. Just stay in the system of HubSpot. And that's just one thing I want to mention today in this podcast. So really look out into HubSpot, what's new, because there are tons of stuff new. And in the last, what was it, Spotlight? I don't know how much functionalities did they promote? I don't know.
I think it was over 200,
Just
honestly.
imagine 200 new functionalities. That's insane, really.
I think that's happening in
Yeah,
any other kingdom,
yeah, yeah.
honestly. And as you mentioned, the brand voice is so important.
Yeah,
Everyone uses ChatGPT, honestly. You can spot from afar if a text was made with ChatGPT. So
I
just
agree.
try to find your brand voice and train the model to adapt to it, really. Another thing that I found recently, and I think this is a recent update as well, is in the so HubSpot has a section called library, and then you have documents, and you can store documents in there, and you can share it internally or as well externally, and then you can actually we have some stats on who opened and who read it and stuff like that. Now Breeze AI is as well in there, and basically what it does is you're uploading a document, and then you just click one button and you have a summary description of what that document is, and you don't have to put any input in there. You really just upload the document as you would anyways, and then to create a summary you just ask Breeze AI, and he's doing it for you. So that's quite amazing.
Yeah, that's perfect. So that's one thing of Breeze. And I was at the Inbound, as you know, in 2024 in September, and they really showed Breeze, because Breeze as well is a monster, right? So you have Breeze Intelligence, you have Breeze for data, you have Breeze for everything, so to say.
Agents.
Sorry?
Agents as
Yeah,
well.
agents, exactly. And this was really as well quite good, because one of our biggest challenge in marketing is always data. So if you can enrich your data on a fingertip, I think Cost-wise, it's also okay, I would say. For sure, it's a little bit more focused on the US at the moment, but we just did a test and it's quite good as well in Europe. So they're speeding up because they're doing no partner with other data vendors. So if you want to enrich the data, Breeze is really something you should consider before buying any other tool solution. So again, I'm a big fan of standards, as you know, Lisa. For sure, we are trying out a lot of stuff, but whatever you can do or we can do in the system itself in HubSpot, I'm a big fan in just doing that what is in there. And I think it's like using Word, right? So in Word, you are typing a text, you maybe make it bold or something, but there is so much functionality in there as well you never would use, right? So and that's with HubSpot is the same, so to say. So there are so many functionalities in there. You really have to look at the use case you want to run and then just run. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should do another episode just on Breeze AI because
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
there's still
Maybe
too
we
many.
get Kylie on board as well.
That would be nice. All right. Well, talking about HubSpot, I was very happy that this week I got 3 videos published in HubSpot Academy.
Congrats.
A big accomplishment. And this is something you guys, like all HubSpot users, can do. So the HubSpot came, this is quite recent, I think. It's called HubSpot Academy Creators Program. You as a HubSpot user, you can create best practices or tutorials or demo videos. And you can propose any kind of topics, but HubSpot usually as well has a group of topics. But if you do not feel comfortable talking about it or something, you can propose your own. And you can follow their requirements and all of that and create videos and then publish it. I created one about lead scoring, segmentation techniques, and data enrichment. So if you search for any of these keywords, you should find it. And as well for all certified trainers out there, you can as well publish courses and lessons. So maybe I will when I'm a certified trainer because that's close to happen. But I'm very happy anyway that my content got into the HubSpot Academy. So yeah, go check it out if you have the chance. Right?
Great achievement and also super nice topics because yeah, really scoring. I'm doing scoring, I don't know, 30 years now. No, no, maybe not 30 years, but 25 years. Yeah, yeah, 25 years, I would say. And scoring is a topic where you can really talk about hours. So what is the right field to choose, etc., etc. And I saw those videos for sure already, and I think it's very valuable content. So that's kind of an advertisement block now. But anyway, you really should consider that or reach out to us also if you want to have a template for the first setup, etc. And again, AI can help you as well. I think it's better in HubSpot to make a suggestion for your fields, but still it's a gut feeling. So you really have to adopt the proposal, so to say, to your business model if it's working out or not. And segmentation and data enrichment, it's always a kind of a companion in marketing, right? So you have to think about that every day. So if you want to run an enrichment campaign, etc., etc. So I think those topics are quite good. Love it.
I mean, I tried briefly the engagement score, AI powered engagement score from HubSpot. I was expecting it to be like, you give me a score, and this score I can use to
Mm-hmm.
measure my leads engagement on some way. But it's really giving you recommendations on what criteria to choose in terms of engagement, like marketing emails and stuff like that. And I think it needs to be optimized. I honestly think it's not quite there yet, and you can always change it. So you cannot really say that's an AI model that will give you that. So you can change it, right? So you can change the type of. So they are recommended, but you have the freedom to edit the scores. So you will always do that if you can. You will always do that because you think you know your
Yeah.
audience anymore, right? So I think that at the end of the day, as you said, it will always be again gut feeling, And honestly, we are humans. We cannot process so many data. And that should be part of your AI strategy as well to
Yeah,
optimize.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, the other topic, so looking a little bit on the time so that the podcast is not getting so long. Huh?
Yeah, people are like
Yeah,
sleep.
so because we have tons of topics to talk, and we promise that we deep dive a little bit more into it when we are doing the next one. Is really because it's so present at the moment is double opt-in process. Because yesterday I talked to a customer. I think we have a problem in our double opt-in process, and I had a look into that, and yeah, for sure the process lags at the moment, so they have to fix it immediately, or we have to fix it now immediately because we are helping this customer. So I think the importance of a good double opt-in as well as preference settings is quite, it's not so, how can I say that? I think it's not one of the biggest priorities of customers. Yeah. So for sure, they're creating an email to verify the email address, etc. But it's much more than just sending out an email for the confirmation of the email address. So because it's also a chance that customers subscribe to other kinds of newsletters. So whatever you have, a product newsletter, info newsletter, event newsletter, a webinar newsletter. So in this is called Preference Center. And looking at our customer base, some of them, they are already starting doing preference centers. So which channels do you want to submit to, so to say? And this is really a topic we should do our own episode about that, because I think it's so important. Every customer has to be GDPR compliant. So store the data, because if someone is asking you, where do you got my data from? Why are you sending me emails, etc., etc.? That's so important. One of our customers is also a GDPR expert. So, and for sure, we are learning from our customers as well, which is super important. But this is something I really want to stress. So do your double opt-in process right. Again, there is a standard functionality in HubSpot. You can adopt this in every single trim. So in starter and professional, it looks a little bit different. And what comes into that as well is the consent subscription, so privacy settings, etc., etc. And it's not so complicated to do, but you need a little bit of a concept. And a concept really means, how do you want to deal with it? How do you want to deal with someone who wants to unsubscribe? Should he unsubscribe from everything or just from one channel, etc.? So the customers out there from HubSpot should really consider about doing a little bit of a concept around that, because we are helping our customers to do that. We have a kind of a standard for that, how we do that. So since we are born in Germany, so GDPR or
Not me.
no, so we are born there, and we are
Me,
also sitting in Portugal. But anyway, it's GDPR, which G means global, so it's a duty for everyone, and that's super important, really, to implement that right. Yeah,
absolutely. That's very good. I think that we should definitely do an episode on that.
yeah,
Because sometimes I think companies overlook the importance of that, especially, I mean, maybe they have a confirmation email, as you said, but having all those preferences, which then later on enables them as well to qualify or to segment and to personalize communication to their client base. And if you do not set that, sooner or later you will run into problems. I'm
yeah,
sure.
that's true. That's true. And this is what we have to avoid. And it's also our duty to avoid this with our customers. Therefore, it's the number one priority at the moment at this customer.
Absolutely. All
Cool.
right. So this was fun.
Yeah, that was really funny. So it's the first time we did this. I hope everyone is enjoying that. So, and there is more to come. And yeah, thank you for listening in.
Thank you. Well, I don't know how this actually works if you need to subscribe or whatever. So, but we will figure it out, as we'll go along. Well, thank you for listening and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye. Tschüss.